Hello everybody, my name is RetroBoy03, and today we'll be taking a look at the TOMY Sonic the Hedgehog 25th Anniversary Classic Knuckles plush from 2016. This is an 8-inch plush that retailed for around $15 when it was available, and, well, let's look at it. So, just to start off, I feel as though Classic Knuckles looks... I really like the shiny red material used for him. I mean, the shiny material for all the 25th anniversary plushes looks nice, but I think Knuckles' just looks really shiny and high quality. I don't know. I think it's a bit odd that Knuckles doesn't have a pronounced brow ridge, but it's fine, since that does make this plush consistent with Sonic and Tails. I like that Knuckles has a nice smile, since a lot of Knuckles plushes depict the character frowning, and I just prefer a smiling Knuckles. You can see that his dreads do a good job at framing his face, and, well, from the back, the dreads look a bit off. I'm not a fan of this big gap here, though it is accurate, and as you can see, the dreads are stitched together at the top. Really, the only actual divisions are towards the bottom, but it still looks nice. Knuckles' tail, however... it is definitely, like, it's pretty much completely understuffed, which I don't think looks that good. I mean, like, yeah, Sonic's tail wasn't stuffed either, but his was really small, and Knuckles' tail, I don't know, it just seems like too big a piece to just be flat. I don't know, I mean, it doesn't look that bad, though, it just looks a bit off to me. Knuckles' crescent moon shape is nice. I like the white embroidery, although I think it's a bit odd that they used a synthetic material inside instead of the crushed velvet. It does seem a bit inconsistent, but it's nice and floofy. Knuckles' body shape, however, is a bit odd, since as you can see, it's sort of square-shaped with at the bottom. Like, that just looks a bit odd when you look at the tag, and well, you can't see it fully. It's definitely a bit more sleek than that. I don't know, it just seems a bit off with how square his body is. It should be sort of a bit more round, but also a bit more sleek, if that makes sense. I do like that Knuckles doesn't look nearly as chubby as Sonic or Tails from the side. Although really, he shouldn't be at all, but for a plush, I think this is fine. Since he does need to be stuffed, of course. I'll get into Knuckles' fists last, because there's a pretty big mistake on mine that I want to get into in a minute, but Knuckles' shoes are nice. I mean, I don't know what you would call these, but the green bits are inaccurate, since they just used green versions of Sonic's socks, and Knuckles is... Well, these things, I don't know what they're called, but they shouldn't have the line in there, so that's not accurate, but the shoes themselves are really nice. I like the different divisions between the red and yellow material, although it's a bit odd that the yellow material used on the shoes isn't shiny. I'm just trying to get Knuckles' tag out of the way for the moment. And I like the embroidery done for the bolts. That's really nice detailing, and on the bottom, there's this really nice shiny silver, and I really like that coloration. On the back, you can see that the back of Knuckles' shoes is red. So, that's most of the plush. However, I do still have to talk about his fists, because, yeah, there is a problem here with mine. Well, this fist is what it's supposed to look like. You can see you have the two spiked knuckles, which look nice, as well as just his thumb at the top. The fist isn't perfect, but it's fine enough. However, on this plush, well, first off, the knuckles do look a bit off, but the problem is if we look at this... Yeah, my Knuckles has two right fists, and they just put this one on upside down. Yeah, that's a really big problem, but I can get past it, since if you just have this guy in a sitting pose, you can't really see his thumbs all too well. And again, this is really just a problem with mine. I highly doubt that if you were to get one of these plushes, there's pretty much no chance that yours would have this problem. It's really a 1 in a million issue that I just happened to end up with. Anyway, you can see that Knuckles' tag is nice. Just like with the other 25th anniversary plushes, it shows the standardized 25th anniversary Sonic emblem, which is on all the tags, as well as just the character's name. But then on the inside, you have a nice piece of art for the character. And what's interesting is that this piece of art actually seems to be what the Collector Series Knuckles plush was based off of, what with him clasping his fists together. However, I think it's a bit odd that they use this art, because it's not entirely accurate to this plush, as in this art, as you can see, Knuckles sort of has a toothy smirk, while this plush just sort of has him with just a standard smile, so that's a bit off, but I do actually prefer Knuckles with just a standard smile, so that's good. And if you're curious to how this plush compares with other TOMY plushes, the only 25th anniversary plush I currently have besides Knuckles is Sonic, and I think they look pretty well together. I mean, they scale up pretty well, with Knuckles being a bit taller than Sonic. Knuckles' eyes are thinner than Sonic's, which is accurate, and his nose is smaller. And his hands... Knuckles' hands are also bigger than Sonic's, although maybe they should be a bit larger than this. I don't know. And Knuckles also works pretty well with the Collector Series Tails, whom he pretty much dwarfs in terms of height. And yeah, and I guess that what's cool is that now that I have this 25th anniversary Knuckles, I now have at least one version of each character from the main trio, although obviously Tails isn't the 25th anniversary version, but I will be getting that version soon, so that's fine. And when I do get that plush, I will definitely be showing off the full trio, as well as comparing that plush to the collector's plush, so don't worry. But yeah, I think these perform a nice set, and, well, that's the end of this review, so would I recommend Knuckles for $15? Well, I mean, in my opinion, of the 4 25th anniversary plushes, which aren't available at this point, so I don't know why I'm doing this recommendation even, but if you happen to find one in your area, well, honestly, at this point, I would just recommend getting it, since they're going to become very valuable. Heck, they've already become very valuable, so if you see one in your area, get it as soon as possible. But, anyway, when it first came out, though, I feel as though this is definitely the least of the 25th anniversary plushes, because Sonic is so iconic, Tails is adorable, and Dr. Robotnik is just perfect. I think this Knuckles is the only plush that has any actual flaws, what with the unstuffed tail, the odd body shape, and, well, again, this is only a problem on mine, the fists really irk me. I don't know how they made a mistake that huge, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I have to say here. This is a good plush, although it does definitely have its fair share of flaws. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next video. Bye-bye.